Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Limits Wrestling. Part 2 of episode 17's on the air, and coming up next is a number one contenders Intercontinental Championship match. Chris Benoit goes up against Chris Jericho coming up next. The winner will be the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And this entire matchup started last week on our programming when Chris Jericho cost Chris Benoit a shot at Money in the Bank. And that meant that Benoit was disqualified and was not going to WrestleMania. Benoit was sent home by the commissioner, but was promised to get his hands on Jericho, and that is exactly what is happening tonight. These two have faced off before, but this is probably the most important. This is for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, and both these men want to go after the second biggest prize in the company. Jericho and Benoit have not held any championship in NLW yet, and it's a real shame because they're both very talented competitors, and when they're in the ring together they produce some of the best wrestling you've ever seen. And I'm sure tonight will be no different as Jericho waits in the ring for the Rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. Benoit last week was scheduled to go one-on-one with Sin Cara, albeit for disqualification. He was disqualified because of Jericho's interference, and that meant that he could not challenge for Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Still an opportunity to get to WrestleMania if he can win this matchup, but all he really is focused on is getting his hands and revenge on Chris Jericho. Jericho is the man who came face to face with Chris Benoit a couple weeks back on the War Games match up at Retribution. Came face to face a couple of times in fact, but it ended up being Chris Jericho locking Benoit out of the cage on that occasion. And then it was last week that Jericho sort of made the challenge in himself by attacking Sin Cara, causing the disqualification to Benoit. Of course, the commissioner unfairly, in my opinion, sent Benoit home, but that meant he couldn't interfere with Jericho's matchup that he had later on in the evening. And both these guys, as they go at it right now, are both submission specialists, as Benoit tries to get an early advantage working on that arm of Chris Jericho. The last time these two faced one-on-one was way back in November on episode 13, so about 5 episodes ago now. And on that occasion, Benoit won. In fact, at the end of that matchup, Jericho appeared to give him a handshake, but instead slapped Benoit in the face at the conclusion of that matchup. And this is the first time they've faced off since, as Benoit dives through the second rope onto Jericho's body. High risk right now, and it's paying off for Benoit. He is in the driver's seat as we take a look back at the suicide dive through the two ropes. Benoit through the second rope, Cummings colliding with Chris Jericho's body. Jericho up now, but sends Benoit into the steel steps, and that may have bought him some valuable time. And what's he going to do now? Is it going to be a suplex onto the hard steel floor? Concrete, no give whatsoever, and that may have done a number on his back. And just when it looked as if Benoit was in complete control, Chris Jericho using a pretty technical maneuver. Both of these guys, technical masters, but sometimes can make mistakes. Jericho crashes and burns off the crossbody attempt, and now those vicious kicks to the stomach by Benoit. Benoit was trained in the Hart family dungeon, so he knows his stuff, as he delivers another snap suplex to Jericho. Here is the cover, but Jericho manages to kick out, and as he leans against the ropes, these two men were the first two in the Royal Rumble matchup a few months back. In fact, both of these men were eliminated, as you see the beautiful enziguri by Jericho, and now going to choke him out. Deliberate choke by Jericho. And now we're going to see a German suplex. Benoit looking that way, but Jericho reverses, and now Jericho with the roll-up cover. And now it's Benoit with the roll-up, and this is close matchup. Too close to call at the moment, but Jericho may have the upper hand right now. Is he going to make Benoit tap? He's got the walls, he's got him locked in. I don't think he's got him locked in fully, however. But Benoit just about manages to get to the ropes. I mean, he's near there. And now, who's Jericho? Looks at the prone body of Benoit. Gotta believe he's going to go for the Lionsault, but he moves out of the way, but lands on his feet just about. Jericho lands on his feet and avoids that, but instead can't avoid this. Benoit, German suplex to Jericho. These men giving it their all for an opportunity at the NLW Intercontinental Championship. Incidentally, both of these men back at the Royal Rumble were both simultaneously eliminated by the current Intercontinental Champion, Alberto Del Rio, in that matchup. Following the headbutt, Benoit wants to face Alberto Del Rio for the title, but so does Jericho. Only one can, as he clotheslines Benoit out of his socks. He's back to his feet, and now, Jericho, has he got him? And there's the code breaker. Code breaker, that may have knocked him out, and now it can mean that Jericho can go in for the walls. Y2J has those walls, and look at them. Look at him, wrenching back on those legs. It may be over right now. Benoit may have to tap. He's in the middle of the ring, and there's no sign of him giving up yet. Thus yet. But Jericho, reversed. And there you go, Benoit with the crossface. Benoit has it wrenched. He's wrenching on the neck. And you can see that Jericho may have to pass out or tap out at some point. And look at him. All of the pressure. Is Jericho going to tap to the crossface, but manages to get to the ropes. Benoit wants to be Intercontinental Champion. So does Jericho, but for Benoit it's more than that. Jericho cost him a shot at Money in the Bank, and that is why he wants his hands on him, but it's not going well at the moment. There is the bulldog by Jericho, and can he get back into this? The damage was done by that crossface, but he looks as if he's going to deliver the Lionsault. Perfectly executed. Is this all? Benoit covered, but he manages to kick out again. And now Jericho climbs to the top rope. And if any technical maneuvers can't do it, it's going to go high risk, but Benoit is back to his feet in a jiffy and going to climb to the top rope. I don't like the looks of this. Benoit looks down on the mat, and you see there the height they are. Is he going to deliver? Top rope superplex. Benoit, and now both men, oh wait a minute, both men rolled up together, and there is the win. But yeah, the match is over, but who won? I had no idea, but it looked as if when the suplex was delivered, both men's shoulders were on the mat, and you see both men have their hands raised. To be honest, I don't know who the winner is, and neither does the referee. He's just shrugging his shoulders in there. He has no idea what's going on. Well, I guess we'll take a look at the replays of this one. The submission maneuvers worked effectively for both men. Of course, no music playing. I don't know who's won. But after this suplex, you can see here exactly what happened. I think both men had the same idea, and they both covered, and both men were on the mat, and you see them arguing now. Both men feel they won this matchup, but the plain simple fact is, no one did. I guess it's a draw, and there you see the Intercontinental Champion Alberto Del Rio on the stage. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know who his #1 contender is. Is either of these men going to face them? Are both of them going to face him? Because it's pretty unclear at the moment. Benoit claiming he's the winner. Alberto Del Rio looking at this confrontation. But the fact of the matter is, this is a draw. But who is the #1 contender?
Gotta take a stand and be the man.
There are only 2 episodes to go following this one until the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. And speaking of WrestleMania, 2 superstars who are bound to lock eyes on each other at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all. Those 2 men are Batista and Randy Orton. They are almost a lock to face off at WrestleMania, especially after what's gone down in recent weeks. Following the War Games match, you'd think the rivalry would be swept under the rug. It hasn't. Last week on our programming, Batista was in a hardcore title match against Raven, but Randy Orton dressed as a cameraman and cost Batista that opportunity. But then, this past Wednesday on Metal, Randy Orton was cost the hardcore title at the expense. Batista costing Orton the hardcore title this past Wednesday on Metal, and what's he got to say?
That's right. That's right, Boomy. Say hello to the bad guy. Boomy all you want. There's something that you people are going to have to get used to. It's going to lose at WrestleMania.
Assuming they do cross paths.
Because you can't beat me. Has never beaten me, will never beat me. Get used to that.
Overconfidence there by Batista.
I've said it before, and I will say it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until you get it through your thick heads. And I are in the same ring. Bad things happen to him. That will not change on Sunday. Same old story. All right. You know, I get it. I get it. You all love.
Mixed
you love
reaction,
him.
I guess.
Because he comes out here and he runs his mouth and gives you a bunch of lip service, gets you all excited. And you hate me. I'm the bad guy because I'm honest. I speak the truth. I tell you like it is. You all mean nothing to me. I'm here to win titles. Here to make money. When I look at you, I don't see fans. I don't even see people. I see money, 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 dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. With some of you, a lot of dollar signs, because I see a lot of fat people in the audience, and I know you paid for 2 seats. Thank you very much. So I get it. I get it. You hate me for my honesty, but you all pay to see me. So thank you. I appreciate your money. You pay to see me because I'm special. You pay to see greatness, something you will never be. So thank you very much. We'll disappoint you on Sunday at WrestleMania. So that's all I have to say. I'm done talking because I know you want to come out here and run his mouth, give you a bunch of false hope.
Well, here he comes anyway, regardless. The Viper, Randy Orton. Orton has a score to settle with Batista. Batista has a score to settle with Orton. And that is why they are almost a lock for WrestleMania. Not quite, but very close. It wouldn't surprise me one bit because they've been at each other's throats for months and have yet to face off one-on-one. But Randy Orton going to come out now and respond to those comments made by Batista. Batista saying that Randy Orton cannot beat him, saying that Randy Orton is just a pawn, saying that Randy Orton doesn't matter to him, neither does these fans. Randy Orton may feel the same, but the fact is, the fans are much more behind Randy Orton than they are behind the Animal. And I think that Batista, to be honest with him, he's obviously jealous. The fact is, Randy Orton has had the upper hand for most of this rivalry.
Last week I asked a question. Do you think that I can beat at WrestleMania? After I asked that question, she hesitated. I didn't. My message was made clear. You're either with me or you're against me.
Well, a different side to Orton. Sending some mixed messages here to the fans and to Batista as well.
You're either with me or you're against me.
Obviously the fans not happy about that. Seems kind of overconfident and cocky from Orton. That's what this means to him.
Since you weren't with me, you were a distraction. And I made a promise to myself, heading into WrestleMania, I'm gonna eliminate all distractions. Now, I know why. I know why. Because all of his opponents in the future had themselves beat before they even got in the ring. They were scared to death. They were scared to death. Well, that is not me. I am not scared. I've seen my future, and it doesn't involve a headstone. It involves a Hall of Fame plaque. A Hall of Fame plaque. And that plaque says, Randy Orton, third generation superstar, the youngest world heavyweight champion in history. Years from now, people will be talking about my undefeated streak. It all started last year. You fell to Randy Orton, and this year it continues. You can't fight the future. And you can't beat Randy Orton. Legend. Killer.
Very, very frustrated sentiments. And I can agree with Orton. Hall of Fame bound, but then again, the way he's been treated over the past couple of months, he's been attacked, he's been brutalized by Batista, so you can't really blame him in that respect. However, I don't think we expected something as aggressive as this, but Randy Orton, he's always had this side to him, and he's finally snapped, he's finally had enough, and at WrestleMania I'm sure that these two are going to beat the living daylights out of each other. Speaking of WrestleMania, this guy was denied the opportunity to go to WrestleMania recently. Still has a shot, but the fact of the matter is, he's in action up next, and this past Wednesday night on Metal, he was talking trash about Kurt Angle after he attacked him last week. And unbeknownst to him, Kurt Angle wasn't in the building, but Cena didn't know that. So when his music hit on Metal, Cena ran for the hills, and he was so frightened, but he's in action coming up next. And in addition to that, John Cena will definitely have something to prove here tonight, because this past Wednesday night he looked terrified. He don't want to show the same signs of weakness here tonight in his match. There you see Carlito in the ring, and now we await the arrival of the former World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena. This past Wednesday night on Metal, as I've mentioned before, he was terror-struck. He was so frightened. Kurt Angle's music hit, while he was talking trash, and Cena cowered under the ring. This was after last week, when Angle debuted in NLW and attacked John Cena following his steel cage match. So not been a great week for Cena, not been a great couple of weeks in fact, after losing the world title and his rematch and getting attacked by Angle, and then to top it all off on Metal, so frightened, seemed to jump out of his shoes, so frightened of the prospect of Kurt Angle. However, Kurt Angle did not show up on Metal. In fact, we haven't seen Kurt Angle since he attacked Cena last week on episode 16. John Cena, the one with a lot to prove here tonight, because on the road to WrestleMania he can't afford any more mistakes than he's already shown, and he's got to be wary of Carlito as well. Carlito, son of Carlos Colon and brother of Primo Colon. Very rich heritage in wrestling his family is, but John Cena still going to look to defeat him as he tries to go for the first cover of the matchup, and Carlito just about manages to get to the ropes. Carlito isn't going to go down easy, that is for certain, as he kicks Cena in the stomach. Carlito has been on the main stage before, however we haven't seen him in a while. Of course, John Cena will be one who's looking to impress, because he hasn't been impressive as late, as he, well, maybe now he is, but no, tried to go for the FU, couldn't, and gets drop kicked to the face. Carlito gonna try and cover Cena, and it would make a major statement if Carlito were somehow to defeat Cena here tonight. That would just top off Cena's week, as he gets thrown into the corner, but the shoulder block takedown to Carlito, and now Cena, this is where he gets fired up, his 5 moves of doom. Not very popular with not very popular at all with the fans, but I don't think he really cares, as he delivers the 5-knuckle shuffle, it would look like, and he executes it down onto the throat. Carlito down now. Here is the cover, and it could have been over all then. Carlito trying to make it back to his feet, as Cena has a lot on his mind recently, but he's looking to be victorious here tonight, but a punch stops him in his tracks. And now look at Carlito. Carlito off of the ropes and the back elbow. Great athleticism by Carlito. And now maybe, is he going to go for the backstabber? John Cena looking dreary, but Cena has him on his shoulders. And from out of nowhere, Cena with the FU to Carlito. FU delivered to Carlito, and that is all. Carlito was defeated here tonight. John Cena getting a very vital victory. Couldn't afford a loss tonight, and he pulled one out of the bag. Certainly has sent a message to Kurt Angle that he is not afraid, contrary to popular belief. Angle no doubt must be watching this, because we haven't seen him since, and John Cena is a man on a mission. Take a look back at the replay here. Cena using his usual moveset to defeat Carlito, the 5-knuckle shuffle, but then it did look as if Carlito had a little bit of a chance when he delivered that back elbow, but it was Cena with the FU that meant that he could gain victory in this matchup here tonight. And you see, he hasn't even bothered to leave the ring. Carlito gingerly making it to his feet, but John Cena reluctant to leave the ring. He's just taunting Carlito, and this is not very good. Oh, wait a minute. Well, Kurt Angle's music hit, but as we saw this past Wednesday on Metal, Kurt Angle was nowhere to be found. Is it more mind games? Cena certainly thinks so. He doesn't... Oh, wait a minute. But he is here, and John Cena is looking like a frightened dog right now. And look at him, hightailing it out of there. Kurt Angle double bluffing him, and he is back again to terrorize John Cena. Cena at first thought it was another ruse, but this time Kurt Angle did show up. Angle now alone in the ring, and he looks at the prone body of Carlito, and what is he thinking? Oh my! This is certainly a message. Kurt Angle with the ankle lock on applied, and look at Carlito tapping out for all his life. Kurt Angle has that ankle wrenched, and he is not letting go. John Cena looking at his fate, and Angle has that ankle. He's going to break it. He may just break the ankle of Carlito, and he's tapping. Oh my god, I think I heard something snap. Carlito's ankle being broken right now. And thank God he let go. But is there an ankle lock in the future of John Cena? He is focused, and he is a man on the mission as well. John Cena thought he had sent a clear message to Kurt Angle. However, it was Kurt Angle that delivered a message back. Kurt Angle is certainly not one to be pushed around, and John Cena certainly knows it now better than ever. Well, that was incredible. But coming up next week in part 3, Triple H will finally explain his actions after betraying his best friend Shawn Michaels. Triple H will explain his actions next week on No Limits Wrestling.